Imagine finding a dusty old manuscript in a forgotten corner of your office, one that grabs your heart and won't let go, only to discover it's the key to unlocking someone else's buried dreams and maybe your own. That's exactly what happened to Patricia. And man, her story, it's one of those that sticks with you, makes you think about all the hidden talents we let slip away in life. Patricia wasn't the type to chase the spotlight. She was this quiet, bookish woman in her 30s, working at a small publishing house in the city. She'd been there since she was fresh out of college, editing manuscripts day in and day out. Her job? Sifting through piles of submissions, deciding what deserved a shot at the shelves. Most of them? Meh. They didn't light a fire in her. But books were her world. Ever since she was a kid, she'd lose herself in stories, curled up under the covers with a flashlight, scribbling her own poems and little tales when no one was looking. Reading wasn't just a hobby, it was her escape, her passion, the thing that made her feel alive. The office had this old archive room in the basement, dusty as hell, shelves crammed with forgotten books and yellowing papers that nobody touched anymore. Patricia loved sneaking down there during her lunch breaks. It was like a treasure hunt, flipping through stuff that had never seen the light of day. One rainy afternoon, while she was poking around, her fingers brushed against this faded stack of pages. The title jumped out at her, The Shadows of Memory. No author name, just those words scrawled in faded ink. Curiosity got the best of her. She cracked it open right there, leaning against a rickety shelf. From the first page, it hooked her. The story followed a writer in the depths of despair, someone who'd lost everything that mattered, including his words. His voice on the page was raw, heartbreaking, like he was pouring out his soul. Patricia felt it in her gut. It mirrored parts of her own quiet struggles, the way she'd always dreamed of writing but shoved it aside for a real job. She read straight through her break, then smuggled it back to her desk. That night, at home, she devoured it, page after page under the dim lamp in her tiny apartment. The emotions hit hard: grief, loss, that aching search for meaning. But then, bam, at page 142, it just stopped, mid-sentence, like the writer had vanished into thin air. What the hell? Patricia stared at the blank pages beyond, her heart pounding. Who wrote this? Why they quit? It felt personal, unfinished business that begged to be resolved. She couldn't shake it. The next morning, back at work, she started digging, asked around the office, "Hey, anyone know about this old manuscript?" Blank stares. No records, no clues. It was like it had been dumped there and forgotten for decades. But Patricia wasn't one to give up easy, especially when something stirred her like this. She hit the phones, calling old contacts, former employees. Hours turned into days of dead ends. "Sorry, never heard of it. That archive's a black hole." Frustration built, but so did her determination. Then, during one random call to a retired coworker, a tiny spark. Sounds familiar. Try Elias Carell. He used to consult for us back in the day. Might know something. Elias? The name rang no bells, but it was all she had. A quick search turned up an address in the suburbs. Patricia's stomach twisted with nerves as she boarded the subway that weekend. What if this was a bust? What if he slammed the door in her face? Her mind raced with questions, the manuscript clutched in her bag like a secret talisman. The house was modest, tucked on a quiet street with overgrown hedges. She rang the bell, heart thumping like a drum. The door creaked open, revealing a man in his 70s, gray hair, wire-rimmed glasses, a wary squint. "Can I help you?" "Hi, are you Elias?" "I'm Patricia, from the publishing house. Someone said you might know about an old manuscript I found." He eyed her suspiciously. "Building management sent you? I'm not selling." No, it's about a book, The Shadows of Memory. I need to find the author. Please, just 5 minutes?" He hesitated, then sighed. "Fine, but make it quick." Inside, the place smelled of old books and faint pipe smoke. They sat in a cluttered living room, sunlight filtering through dusty curtains. Patricia pulled out her copy and handed it over. Elias adjusted his glasses and started reading. At first, his face was stone, but page by page, something shifted. His eyes softened, then widened. He forgot about the time limit, lost in the words. When he finally looked up, Patricia pressed, "Can you help me find who wrote this? It's incredible. It needs to be out there." "Why does it matter so much?" His voice was gruff but curious. "Because it woke something in me. I've always loved stories, but this one, it feels like it's mine somehow, unfinished, like parts of my life." He nodded slowly. The author was a friend. Good man, but he never published. Died years ago. Patricia's heart sank. "I'm so sorry. But the story's about a writer who loses his spark after tragedy. It's so vivid." He shifted uncomfortably, staring at the pages. "I was a psychologist once, wrote a bit myself, but after my daughter, she passed young, cancer. It broke me. Couldn't write, couldn't work, just stopped." The pieces clicked for Patricia. The parallels were uncanny, the grief, the silence. "Elias, your life, it echoes the book. Have you ever wanted to write again?" He went quiet, eyes distant. She could see the storm brewing behind them, old pain resurfacing. Finally, he muttered, "I think that's enough for today." As she stood to leave, she took a risk. "What if you finished it? I mean, you get it, the heart of it. You could bring it to life." He didn't answer, just showed her out. But that night, alone in his study, Elias couldn't shake her words. The manuscript haunted him. Slowly, he sat at his desk, pen in hand. Words trickled out, then flowed. Memories poured onto the page, his own shadows of memory. A week later, his call came out of the blue. "Patricia, I did it. Finished the damn thing last night." She was stunned. "Already? That's wow." They met, and she read the ending, a beautiful, redemptive close that healed the writer's wounds, found hope in the darkness. It was perfect. With her push, they polished it, and 7 weeks later, The Shadows of Memory hit the shelves, credited to an unknown author, completed by Elias Carrel. The launch event was electric. Elias read excerpts to a packed room, his voice steady but laced with emotion. The audience hung on every word. The tale of loss and rediscovery hit home. Applause thundered, tears flowed. Newspapers raved the next day, a masterpiece unearthed from the past. Elias was beaming, over the moon, but Patricia saw a shadow in his eyes. Afterward, he pulled her aside. "You deserve the truth. I wrote it, all of it, years ago after my daughter. It was my story, unfinished. Gave it to a friend at the house to read, never meant for more. It got lost until you." Patricia's jaw dropped. "Why hide it?" "Wanted to bury that pain, but you dragged it into the light. Thank you." From there, a friendship bloomed. They'd meet for coffee, dissect books, share writing tips. Elias became her mentor, encouraging her dormant dreams. "You've got talent, Patricia. Don't waste it like I did." Inspired, she quit her job, dove into her own novel, a story woven from their journey, about rediscovering passion amid grief. Months flew by in a blur of late nights and crumpled drafts. She missed their talks, but the words demanded everything. Her debut reading? Nerve-wracking, in the same hall as Elias's. As she started, she spotted him in the front row, grinning. He'd come. Her voice shook at first, but grew strong, the story pouring out. Applause thundered, tears flowed. But joy turned bittersweet. Soon after, news hit. Elias had passed peacefully at 79. Heart failure, they said. Patricia crumbled, lost her friend, her guide. She retreated, grieving in silence, questioning it all. Then one quiet morning, clarity came. Elias had given her a gift, belief in herself. She had to pass it on. She founded a literary fund, pouring her book's earnings into it, supporting struggling writers, uncovering hidden talents, organized events, rallied donations. At the first big gala, standing before the crowd, she thought, "This is it, paying forward the spark he reignited in me." And you know what? That's the real magic of stories. They connect us, heal us, push us forward. Patricia's life? Proof that one forgotten page can rewrite everything. If you're out there chasing your own shadows, remember, it's never too late to finish your chapter. Thanks for listening. Now go write yours.